What's going on, guys? It's Groove, back with another one from Beyond Order, 12 More Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson. And today we're going to be going over Rule 4, Opportunity Lurks Where Responsibility Has Been Abdicated. So he starts out by saying that, it's always a bad idea to sacrifice yourself so that others can get the credit. Yet if you are wise and attentive, you will see that majority of your coworkers may leave a plethora of tasks undone. You might ask yourself, what would happen if I took responsibility for these tasks? Now you might ask yourself okay, why the heck would I want to do that? But this is how you become invaluable to your job. This is how you stand out in the workplace. Becoming useful and doing tasks that nobody else wants to do, it can take you to that next level. Arriving earlier at your job, organizing things that are disorganized, actually working instead of just looking like you're working. The people up top, your bosses, your managers, whoever's above you, they will notice these things. These things just won't go unnoticed. They know who's working and who's not. He says this really helps when it comes time to asking for a raise or time off. Now, I've really experienced this myself in my own life, especially when it comes to time off. If you're doing a lot of work, if you're taking on a lot of responsibilities and the higher ups see this, they have no problem pretty much just giving you whatever you want. Hey, I need time off for this, or can I come in a little later? I have this going on in my personal life. And they're like, yeah, sure. Take your time. Do whatever you need to do, because they know of how valuable of a worker you are. They know how much you mean to the company or how much you bring to that company. He believes the meaning that really sustains life is found in the adaptation of responsibility. Now, some people may disagree with that, but I kind of do agree with him. Life is found in responsibility. How many times have you gone through something or you've done a task and you're like, man, that was really hard, but it's really rewarding at the end? Things that come easy, you don't really have much respect for things that come easy. It's always the hard things, taking on responsibility, getting through tasks. That's where you're like, man, that felt good to accomplish something, to achieve something. And he says that this only comes through taking on responsibility in life. Another thing that it made me think of as well is, we can see this in the physical. When people retire, a lot of older people, especially men, their bodies break down on them. Their minds break down on them. Once they retire, everything just goes to kaput. And everything they just start to die earlier. And it's why is that? And it's because they have no more responsibility. And so there's no life left in them. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to just work a 9 to 5 until you die. But again, have some responsibility in your life. If you are going to retire from a 9 to 5, what else are you doing? How else can you take some responsibility in your life, providing value to the world, keeping that going in those years after you retire? This is how people live for a long time, is you need that responsibility in your life. It's what keeps you going. He says that difficulty is the spice of life. He gives an example of chess. He says chess would be boring if you could just move every piece wherever you want it. He says this is the spice of life. Understanding that, I don't even know the name of it, the horse. He says, knowing that you can only move that in an L shape is, again, it makes you think. It's because it's difficult. That's the reason you like it. That's the reason you want to play the game, is to, how can I master this difficult game and beat you at it? He says by taking responsibility in life, not only does this give you a meaningful life, it also helps you psychologically. Because now, every time you achieve a new challenge or you get over a new hill or a new milestone in your life, it makes you feel good. Hey, I accomplished that. I did that. And again, like he said, it has positive effects on your mental health. He says people are more commonly upset when they don't try at all, compared to those people who actually try in life and fail. Those people that don't want to take on responsibility in their life, they're not trying at anything. He says those people are commonly more regretful. And you kind of see it too. I've watched a few videos on older people who are on their deathbed and they're like, hey, do you have any life advice? And they're always like, I wish I would have done this more. I wish I would have tried to go after my dreams. And it's always regretful of things they didn't try in life. Another thing he mentions when it comes to responsibility is he talks about, you don't want to be Peter Pan. You don't want to be that oldest person at the party, that oldest person at the bar, just trying to get rid of responsibility in your life because you just think you're cool or rebellious. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't have fun and go celebrate something. But he says that we should take responsibility and aim at something in life. Don't just get lost in, the partying and not trying to be responsible. He ends off by saying that your life and the meaning that you bring to life is precisely connected to the proportion of the responsibility that you're willing to shoulder, because you are now genuinely involved in making things better in your own life. And with that, that's pretty much it for this rule. I really like this. I feel like he's right. A lot of people try to get rid of responsibility. They don't want it. But he says this is what makes life better. This is what makes life more meaningful. And it can just take you to better heights. It can make your mental health better just by taking on more responsibility. And so with that one, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in that next one. Peace.